Hi everyone. So, Forward Bay Park. Examiner will pull you up into a car park and brief you along the lines of, we're going to do a Forward Bay Park. They normally choose the side of the road, so we're going to select to the left. When you're ready, let's move off. Importantly, the car park might be busy, it might be quiet. Okay, so pretend it's busy. Make sure you do all of the observations, signals, checks as though it was busy. Secondly, make sure you pick 3 empty bays in a row. Okay, even if it's a relatively busy car park, there will always be 3 empty bays. Don't try and park next to another car because you're just going to make it harder for yourself. So if that means you kind of move off and then you realise, oh, there's my 3, yeah, just drive around, go around. Normally there's a chance to loop around and go back and have another go. Okay. So you've just been briefed. Sorry. When you're ready, let's move off. Briefed. When you're ready, let's move off. So it's normal move off routine from the side of the road. So prepare the car, do your observations, and really do look around. If it's busy, look for people who might be about to pull out. Okay, looking good. Okay, tell people you're going to move, and then move. Cancel that signal. Okay, move slowly. Now I've spotted my space up ahead, so I'm going to signal left now. We're going to go for just after the blue car. Okay, now I've got to get to the opposite side of the road. I need to create some space. How do I do that safely? I need to move across. So check your right mirror, just kiss the parrot, make sure there's no one there. Still got my left signal on, I'm not signalling right. Yeah, moving across, create that space. Look how slowly I'm going. Yeah, there's no rush here. Okay, now I'm going to stop on the reference point. Okay, which is when my wing mirror lines up with the first line of the bay that we're actually going to turn into. Okay, so I'm just going to stop my wing mirrors lined up there. Be wary, learner in a car park, people will try and whiz by on the left. Okay, so I've lined up, and now again, just have another quick look. So be wary, make sure no one's doing anything stupid. Okay, because it's to the left, so move slow, fully locked to the left, and just double check, make sure no one's sneaking through. Okay, and then keep it fully locked. And you can see I've horrendously overshot the parking bay. Okay, or have we? I think I might just be in. Let's have a look. I think I might just be in actually. Let's just angle that mirror down a bit. Okay, so we're just in. We're just over on one side. Okay, but let's fix it. Let's just say we've crossed the line, and so we now need to fix it. Okay, I'm on a bit of a hill, so watch out for that. Handbrake on. We need to change direction. Yeah, look all around. Because I'm about to move backwards, look out the back window last. Okay, let's maybe select reverse. Have another go. Look all around. Look at the back window last. Okay, find that bike. And then looking, we're moving backwards, yes, I'm watching. People could come through either side. Okay, while you're doing this, maybe it makes sense to do a bit of a wiggle, do a little bit of a fix. Okay, go back as far as you can, but don't cross the bays opposite. Okay, there are no bays behind us here, but it could be there's parking bays opposite. We're going to change direction again. So again, look over both shoulders, make sure no one's cutting through. And then obviously move yourself forwards. And then stop on your fronty, backy, whatever reference point it is. For me, I use the bottom edge of the wing mirrors and how it relates to the back end of the parking bay in my car, and then secure the car. Okay, be very wary when you're in a car park that's got a hill. Make sure that you've got the correct gear for the direction you're moving in. So it's not acceptable. If you wanted to just shuffle backwards and you're in first gear, it's not acceptable to just push the clutch in and let the car roll backwards because your reverse lights aren't on. Okay, so if you need to move backwards, make sure you're in reverse. You can still roll backwards. Yeah, you can still clutch in and roll backwards as long as your reverse lights are on. Same as moving forwards. Make sure your reverse lights are off. Make sure you're in a forward gear. The examiner will now say, thank you very much. I'd like you to reverse out of the parking space and I'd like to exit the car park to the left. Okay, so we're going to end up driving that way. So again, prepare. This point, by the way, pretend you've got an invisible car either side of you. It's interesting, on the turn in, there's no cars, so you can cross over those bays, no issues. But on the reverse, they expect you to drive halfway out before you do the turn. You're demonstrating that you're aware that you can't just turn if there was a car next to you. Okay, so prepare. Look all around. Yeah, look at where we're going to reverse. We're going to signal to the right because I'm going to reverse to the right because we're going to end up going to the left. And again, nice and slow. Halfway out, so that's roughly when my my pillars line up with the entry to the parking bay. That's good enough there. Fully locked. The front of the car still will sideswipe slightly, but from the examiner's perspective, they know that we've had the discussion about being careful about cars either side. And again, just moving slowly. Look how slowly we're going. Get to roughly 45 degrees, so don't get nicely, perfectly lined up. Just get to roughly 45 degrees. That discourages people from trying to cut through. Okay, into first gear. Again, left shoulder, right shoulder. Make sure no one's doing anything. Shoulder. Make sure no one's doing anything stupid. Trying to cut through. Moving slowly. Doesn't matter how you steer. Get yourself off and back onto the correct side of the road. And that's the forward bay park to the left. Only difference between forward to the left and forward to the right. Forward to the left, you've got to get to the opposite side of the road. So check that mirror, kiss the parrot. Forward bay to the right, you don't have to do that extra check because you're already opposite the bay.